Hi, this is Hunter's Ridge Apiary again. We've moved to a new location because of the weather. It's a balmy 70 degrees in here next to my wood stove. We're going to be working on feeders today. This is a typical 5-frame size feeder. It has a vent at this end covered with screen, with a downward sloping hole. It has a bowl for feed and a track for the bees to run through. And we're going to take this apart and look at the parts real quick here. I screw this down because we don't want the bees getting out. It's a very, very critical fit at this point. This little notch here is where the bees go in here and go down, all the way down here, and drink at whatever level the feed is. When you walk on the screen, it's easier for them to walk on. This is 2 pieces of wood here, cut at an angle. I think it's 27 degrees I use random angle. But it works good because it gives you a little bit of push out away from the side into the bowl. It gives you more options for bowls. A little piece of 1/8" Luan here, 1/8" Luan here, Luan plywood. And this keep this all stable, otherwise your screen would buckle and fit poorly. That's what that's for. These have to come off every year and get clean because they get really dunked up with sugar syrup and such, and mold and things like that. So you want to clean them pretty good every year. We always take them off. There's your bowl. Each one is fit the feeder into the bridge. This is what most people call a bridge. It's a screened entryway for the bees. This one here, the bridge is a little bit off, so I had to put a spacer in to hold the bowl up to get the maximum amount of feed out of it. You want the bridge to reach the bottom of the bowl. Like that. Inside here, this is a typical construction. You have a block of wood, and then a bar clear across, and this is the track for the bees. Just some crappy old plywood there, a nice 1x3 there, scrap wood. And all these pieces act to reinforce the body. At the bottom, of course, is a piece of Luan tacked on. This is nailed on. And then I take silicone rubber around here just so the bees don't get out or get into trouble. And there's about a 1/2" bee space there. Hi, this is Hunter's Ridge Apiary again. We'll look at a different kind of feeder. This could be a canning jar. This happens to be a plastic jar about the same size. I don't like to mess with the glass too much because it's easy to break. You fill this up with sugar syrup, and there's all sorts of recipes for making sugar syrup. It can be 1:1, 2:1, 3:1, whatever. All I ever do is dump sugar in, stir it till it stops dissolving, and that's about 3:1. Pretty thick, kind of like Karo syrup, a little bit thicker, and it pours slow, you know. And that's what I use for everything. Every beekeeper has his own opinion, and I do put essential oils in mine to encourage the bees to eat it and to treat them for nosema. Fill this up with the sugar syrup, and this is a feeder lid. It has little holes poked in it. And this standard size is for a canning jar. In fact, I've used a canning jar and just poked holes in it. And this goes in a feeder. This is what they call a Boardman feeder. It goes in, you shake it out, so it develops a vacuum in there and quits running. You put it in here. And these fit into the hive slot in one fashion or another. See, it fits like that. And the bees walk out there and stick their little tongues in those little holes in the lid and suck down the sugar syrup. This is something that you use for new hives sometimes. It's not a cure-all, and it's not really something I use for long-term use. It's good for a temporary use. When you get a brand new hive set up and they don't know where the feed is, or they may be really hungry from being in a box or being shipped, traveling, whatever, you can stick this on there and they'll go right for it. And it's instant feeding. Handy. Just last week, the temperature got up in the 60s. So I put a bunch of these, set them on a table out by the beehives. The bees all came over there, went inside and drank the sugar syrup. Worked pretty good. I don't use it for much else other than open feeding. And here's another device beekeepers need to know how to use. This is called a smoker. It's a bellows, which makes it easy to get a fire lit. Take some cardboard, paper or something, tear it up, get it on there, get a fire going at it, and use this to keep it going and get it going good. So you've got considerable fire going down there. I like to take sticks about that big around, and when I've got a cooking fire going or a barbecue going or a trash fire going, I take and knock the charcoal ends into here, red coals. That's a good way to start. Already started. Good to go. Then you shove a whole bunch of leaves, or I like dried pine needles. That's my favorite. You use wood shavings. If I'm in a hurry and don't have anything handy, I pull leaves off the oak tree, but they make me cough. Pine needles are by far the most pleasant one to use. And you keep the bellows going. Close her up, and you should have smoke coming out here that's cool for the bees. You don't want fire shooting out. You can do that if you try hard, but you don't want that. And that's not good for the bees. But a nice, cool smoke coming out, and that's what you want for smoking the bees. This is a frame feeder I had from back in the 90s. I used them once and drowned a whole bunch of bees and quit using them. Don't like them. But here on the homestead we have a rule. Use what you got. So I dug these things out. I could buy new ones with the bridges, but back when these were made they didn't use bridges. They didn't have bridges. This is the finished product here. And it just snaps in like that. And it's pretty darn tight. I'm going to fill these up with some wintertime sugar syrup, put them in the hive for stores.
And it's about 50 degrees out here in the sun. And we brought some room temperature sugar syrup out for the bees, and they are enjoying it quite a bit today. Pollen substitute. They've been coming out flying for a few hours in the afternoon when it warms up a little bit, and we decided to go with a black lid instead of the white one, and then tomorrow when the sun is shining it'll keep it warm in there.